Phil here. We are going to be upgrading the Z's to the OEM Brembos. I had gotten all the pistons out. Some were a struggle, and then I was able to go to one of my buddy's place to air compress them out. I suggest doing that. A lot easier, and you will not mar up the pistons like I had. If it'll focus, right? So you won't mar it up as bad. These scratches are very superficial. They're not too deep, and it won't prevent the sliding action from the piston or in the caliper. So we'll just we'll run them. But yeah, the other ones came out pretty easily. The kind of trick to getting all 4 pistons out was like to reseat one of the pistons and put a clamp on it, or I've seen some people actually zip tie them so they don't fully escape out, and the air pressure can go to another cylinder here and pop that one out, and then you repeat the process for all of them. So what I got here is the front caliper. Excuse me. Over here I got my set. Sorry, my dog's barking. I got my piston set for front caliper. Second front caliper is over here, and then I have 2 sets here because the rears are just 2 pot in the back, so 2 each. I also have a little amount of brake fluid here to use as lubricant to reseat the seals for the front here. As you can see, I got excuse me. I got the hardware for the brakes here, and then the rest in this bag is the dust boots. It really doesn't want to focus. The dust boots right here, and then the seals for each cylinder. So we'll separate these so I know that I have them all. 2 large, and then let's see, 2 large, 2 small, 2 large, 2 small. Alrighty. So if you haven't already, there's a little lip inside the cylinder here. You want to get that out with a pick. Make sure not to scratch the walls. And after that, we'll be grabbing 1 large one to go into the large piston here, and then it's so hard to see, and everything's oriented differently. So there's 1 large up front, and it's going to be the same on the other side, and then there's 2 small ones, and basically just grab one of the seals, get that soaked with brake fluid, and then just put it on in. So I'm going to continue the process. I'll make a midway point after I get back with the after I finish with the fronts and I start the rears. Yo guys, we are back at Chuck's. Chuck has graciously let me use the shop to swap over my calipers. We'll be swapping from the standard 1 piston calipers to the 4 pot and the 2 pot in the rear. So I'm going to take you guys along for the ride, and I got those calipers up front. We have the rears right here, front's right here, seals all done, everything's on them right now so I wouldn't forget. And we got fresh lines from Z1, and We got F1 in the background, so this is gonna be a good time. A little test fit before we commit to everything. It's a little close, but these are only street tires, right? So, and this isn't seated completely how it should be because I didn't do anything really tight. But this looks awesome. Gonna take this back off and get everything seated on the front left. All right, we're back. We took a little lunch break and kind of had to get away from the camera for a bit because the front hard line to the stainless steel lines kind of kicked my butt. Chuck helped me out with a torch. So we got that sucker out, and this is kind of the mock-up right now. It looks kind of sick. We wired, here, I'll show you guys on the other side. We routed the lines from the caliper from the banjo bolt to the arm here, loops around, and then it attaches to the coilover. I know you guys can barely see it, and then it hooks up to the hard line. So that's the front. The back is just going to be, I'm going to reuse the lines because they're not as torn up as these were. This is why proper line routing is important. If you can see, this is taped up and torn up, and these stainless lines are really strong, but you don't want to ever test the limits of your braking system. So that's that. The car, I've been gravity bleeding it as I've been attaching stuff. You can see it's been lowered. Gotta clean this up. Here's the one finished rear. Got the caliper in place. I have this bucket here just in case it's dripping brake fluid. I reused a stainless steel line that I had before. I just replaced the banjo bolt. We took the banjo bolt out. I don't know where I put it. Somewhere around here. Oh, here it is. Right here. And I just got to do the other side. So what you have to do on the rears is this dust shield here. You got to cut it. Chuck had given me his grinder, and what's the second tool called?
Grinder as well.
Another grinder that actually just takes off the sharp edges, so that's pretty dope. Again, what I had done is I took off that banjo bolt on this caliper, replaced it with the Brembo banjo bolts, and just reuse this line. So I'm trying not to stress this line right now, especially since I'm going to be reusing it. So that's that. I know people would rather have me hang this, but this actually it chills pretty fine right there. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut this, get the surface prepped, slap on the new rotor, slap on the new caliper, and then we're going to be bleeding these bad boys. Also, since I was here, I had changed the shock height to prevent my tires from rubbing at VIR, so I reset those. Those are back where they were, and that's where we're at. All right, let's do some cutting.